Hello, and welcome back to Learn English by Stories. Today, we are going to travel back in time, more than 200 years, to the country of France. We are going to tell the story of one of the most fascinating men in all of human history. Vocab box. Fascinating adjective. Something that is extremely interesting. It holds your attention completely. Example. This story is so fascinating that I could not stop reading. His name was Napoleon Bonaparte. Some people called him a genius. Others called him a monster. Some called him a hero. Others called him a tyrant. Vocab box. Genius noun. A person with extraordinary intelligence or talent. Tyrant noun. A cruel and powerful ruler who treats people unfairly. The truth about Napoleon is more complex than any of these words alone. He was a small man, but he had enormous ambition. Vocab box. Ambition noun. A strong desire to achieve something great. Example. Her ambition was to become the greatest scientist in the world. He came from almost nothing, and he conquered most of Europe. He changed the laws of nations, the map of the world, and the lives of millions of people. And then, in one of history's most dramatic endings, he lost everything. This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte. Let's begin. Pause. Our story begins on a small island in the Mediterranean Sea. The island is called Corsica. Corsica is a beautiful island, full of mountains, forests, and the smell of the sea. But in 1769, it was not a happy place. It had just been transferred from the Republic of Genoa, that is, Italy, to the Kingdom of France. Vocab box. Transferred verb, past tense. To move something or someone from one place or owner to another. Example. The land was transferred from the old owner to the new king. The people of Corsica were not satisfied with this change. Many of them wanted independence, freedom from outside rulers. Satisfied adjective. Happy or content with a situation. Example. He was not satisfied with his small house. He wanted a palace. It was in this atmosphere of change and tension that Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769. Vocab box. Atmosphere noun. The mood or feeling of a place or situation. Example. There was an atmosphere of excitement before the battle. His full name at birth was Napoleon di Bonaparte, an Italian-style name, because Corsica had only just become French. He would later change the spelling to the more French version, Napoleon Bonaparte. His father was Carlo Bonaparte, a lawyer from a noble family but not a rich one. His mother was Letizia Ramolino, a strong, determined woman who raised 8 children. Noble adjective. Belonging to a high social class by birth, often aristocracy. Determined adjective. Having a strong decision to do something, no matter how difficult. Young Napoleon was the second child. He was energetic and intelligent, but also stubborn and difficult. Even as a small boy, he liked to be in charge. He organized games, and he always made the rules. Energetic adjective. Full of energy, always active and lively. Stubborn adjective. Refusing to change your ideas or behavior, even when others disagree. When Napoleon was 9 years old, his father got him a scholarship to a military school in France. A scholarship means the school pays for your education, because Napoleon's family did not have enough money. Vocab box. Scholarship noun. Money given to a student to pay for their education, based on ability or need. So in 1778, little Napoleon left Corsica. He traveled to the French mainland alone, a 9-year-old boy on a big ship, crossing the sea to a foreign land. He could barely speak French. He had an Italian accent. The other children at school mocked him. Vocab box. Mock verb. To laugh at someone in a cruel or unkind way, to make fun of them. Example. The other students mocked him because his accent was different. But Napoleon did not surrender to their cruelty. Vocab box. Surrender verb. To give up, to stop fighting or resisting. Instead, he studied harder. He learned French quickly. He became especially skilled in mathematics and military strategy. Vocab box. Strategy noun. A plan or method designed to achieve a particular goal, especially in war or competition. He graduated early. He was talented, and he knew it. By the time Napoleon was 16 years old, he had graduated from the prestigious École Militaire in Paris, one of France's best military schools, and received his first job as an artillery officer. Artillery noun. Large, heavy guns used in war. An artillery officer commands these weapons. Napoleon loved artillery. He studied it deeply. While other young officers spent their time at parties and social events, Napoleon stayed in his room and read. He read history, geography, military tactics, philosophy, everything. He was preparing himself for what he did not yet know. To understand Napoleon's rise, we must first understand what happened in France at this time. In 1789, France exploded. For centuries, France had been ruled by kings. The people were divided into three classes, or estates as they were called. Classes, noun, plural. Groups in society divided by wealth, power, or status. The first estate was the church, powerful and wealthy. The second estate was the nobility, the aristocrats, the lords and ladies. The third estate was everyone else. Merchants, workers, farmers, nearly 97% of the population. Vocab box. Nobility, noun. The group of people belonging to the highest social class. The third estate paid most of the taxes. They had little power and little food. By 1789, France was bankrupt, out of money, and many ordinary people were starving. Vocab box. Bankrupt, adjective. Having no money, unable to pay debts. A bankrupt country or person owes more than they can repay, and so they revolted. The French Revolution began in the summer of 1789. The people stormed the Bastille, a famous prison that symbolized royal power. The king, Louis XVI, eventually lost control and then lost his head. Literally. He was executed by guillotine in 1793. Vocab box. Symbolized verb, past tense. Represented something else, stood as a symbol for a larger idea. Example. The prison symbolized the cruelty of the old government. Guillotine, noun. A device used during the French Revolution to cut off people's heads as a form of execution. France became a republic, a country ruled not by a king, but by the people and their elected representatives. Vocab box. Republic, noun. A form of government where the country is led by elected officials, not a king or queen. But the revolution quickly became chaotic and violent. Different political groups fought for power. Thousands of people were executed, including many innocent ones. This period was called the Reign of Terror. Chaotic, adjective. Completely without order or organization. Extremely confused. Other European kingdoms, Britain, Austria, Prussia, were alarmed. They feared the revolution would spread to their own countries. They formed coalitions, groups of allied nations, to fight against France. Vocab box. Alarmed, adjective. Worried and frightened by a danger. Coalition nun. A group of different people or countries that joined together for a common purpose. France was now at war with much of Europe, and it desperately needed strong military leadership. This was Napoleon's moment. Pause. In 1793, Napoleon was just 24 years old. He was stationed near the southern city of Toulon, which had been captured by British and Royalist forces. The French commanders did not know how to take back the city. Napoleon did. He studied the geography carefully. He chose a strategic position for his artillery on a hill overlooking the harbor. He said, "Place the guns here, and the British ships will have no choice but to leave." Vocab box. Strategic, adjective. Carefully planned to achieve a particular goal, especially in military terms. His commanders listened, and it worked. Within days, the British fleet sailed away. Toulon was recaptured. Vocab box. Recaptured verb, past tense. Taken back by force after being lost or captured. Napoleon was promoted to general at age 24. It was extraordinary. Promoted verb, past tense. Given a higher rank or position. Extraordinary, adjective. Very unusual or remarkable. Beyond what is ordinary. His reputation had begun to grow. Vocab box. Reputation, noun. The general opinion that people have about someone based on their actions or behavior. In 1796, the French government, now called the Directory, gave Napoleon command of the Army of Italy. This army was poor, hungry, and demoralized. The soldiers had not been paid in months. Vocab box. demoralized, adjective, having lost confidence, hope, or enthusiasm. Example, after many defeats, the army was completely demoralized. Napoleon arrived and gave them a speech that is still famous today. He said, "Soldiers, you are naked and hungry. The Republic owes you everything but can give you nothing. I am going to lead you into the most fertile plains in the world. You will find their great towns, rich provinces, honor, glory, and riches. Soldiers of Italy, will you lack courage?" They did not lack courage. They followed him with fierce loyalty. Vocab box. Fierce, adjective. Very strong, intense, or powerful. Example, the soldiers had fierce loyalty for their general. Napoleon's Italian campaign was a masterpiece of military strategy. In just 1 year, he defeated the Austrian forces again and again, at battles like Lodi, Castiglione, Arcola, and Rivoli. Vocab box. Masterpiece, noun. A work done with exceptional skill, the best example of its kind. He moved his armies with incredible speed. He attacked before the enemy expected it. He divided larger enemy forces and defeated them one piece at a time. He did not wait. He did not hesitate. Hesitation, he believed, was the most dangerous thing in war. Hesitation, noun. A pause or delay before doing something, usually because of uncertainty or fear. By 1797, Napoleon had negotiated a peace treaty with Austria. He had done what no French general had been able to do for years. He returned to Paris as a hero, a young, brilliant, unstoppable hero. Negotiated verb, past tense. Reached an agreement through discussion and compromise. The people of Paris loved him. The soldiers adored him. Even his political rivals were impressed and frightened. Vocab box. Adored verb, past tense. Loved deeply and with great admiration. Impressed, adjective. Feeling great admiration for someone because of what they have done. So, what can we learn from Napoleon's story? Perhaps this: talent and ambition are powerful tools, but they must be guided by wisdom, patience, and humility. Vocab box. Guided verb, past tense. Led or directed toward something. Humility, noun. The quality of not thinking you are better or more important than others. Modesty. Napoleon had enormous talent and enormous ambition, but he often lacked humility. He believed he could defeat any enemy, overcome any obstacle, defy any limit. Obstacle, noun. Something that blocks or prevents progress. Defy verb. To resist or refuse to obey. To challenge. Russia taught him that some obstacles cannot be overcome by military genius alone. Spain taught him that a people's will to resist can be stronger than the world's greatest army. And history taught us that no empire, however powerful, lasts forever. Napoleon once said, "Impossible is a word found only in the dictionary of fools." It is a memorable quote. Vocab box. Memorable, adjective. Worth remembering. Easy to remember because it is special or striking. But perhaps the greater lesson of his life is this: even the most extraordinary person has limits. Knowing your limits and respecting them may be the greatest form of intelligence of all. Negotiated verb, past tense. Reached an agreement through discussion and compromise. The people of Paris loved him. The soldiers adored him. Even his political rivals were impressed and frightened. Vocab box. Adored verb, past tense. Loved deeply and with great admiration. Impressed, adjective. Feeling great admiration for someone because of what they have done. So, what can we learn from Napoleon's story? Perhaps this: talent and ambition are powerful tools, but they must be guided by wisdom, patience, and humility. Vocab box. Guided verb, past tense. Led or directed toward something. Humility, noun. The quality of not thinking you are better or more important than others. Modesty. Napoleon had enormous talent and enormous ambition, but he often lacked humility. He believed he could defeat any enemy, overcome any obstacle, defy any limit. Obstacle, noun. something that blocks or prevents progress. Defy verb, to resist or refuse to obey, to challenge. Russia taught him that some obstacles cannot be overcome by military genius alone. Spain taught him that a people's will to resist can be stronger than the world's greatest army. And history taught us that no empire, however powerful, lasts forever. Napoleon once said, "Impossible is a word found only in the dictionary of fools." It is a memorable quote. Vocab box. Memorable adjective. Worth remembering. Easy to remember because it is special or striking. But perhaps the greater lesson of his life is this. Even the most extraordinary person has limits. Knowing your limits and respecting them may be the greatest form of intelligence of all. Thank you so much for learning English with me today. In today's story, you practiced listening to narrative English, storytelling English, which is one of the most important styles to understand. Vocab box. Narrative noun/adjective. A spoken or written account of events. Storytelling. You learned vocabulary from history, politics, and psychology, the study of the human mind. Vocab box. Psychology noun. The scientific study of the human mind and behavior. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel. It helps us create more stories for you. Leave a comment below. What is your opinion of Napoleon? Was he a hero or a villain? Write in English, and I will read every comment. In our next video, we will travel to the ancient world, the story of Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt. Until then, keep reading, keep listening.